I joined Witness Theater because last year when I was watching The Great Above Me perform, I saw the bond they had with the survivors, and I saw like their connection, how it was so personal. It wasn't just a play, it was more than that. And I thought, why shouldn't I be involved, and why shouldn't I get the opportunity to get to know survivors?
I did a research paper about the Holocaust in 8th grade, and I did my research. It was like, wrote a 10-page thing on it, but I knew the facts, but like I wasn't emotionally connected to it. Like I wanted to understand it on a deeper level, and then I saw the play in freshman year and I was like, this is exactly what I was looking for.
I expected it to be very hard at first to interact with the survivors because I haven't really come in contact to many of them throughout my life.
So like honestly, I thought I would have to talk about like old people stuff, you know, like playing cards, like what's your favorite tea, like those type of things, but like it's really, I mean, not anything like that. Like we talk about like day-to-day things, like how's your day, what they did today, like we catch up with each other every week.
I think I kind of expected just to get right into the stories and just know what happened, but instead we got to know the person behind the stories and who they were and what their childhood was like and who they are now.
At 4:30, we would come into the Bet Midrash, and all the survivors would be waiting here, and all the students were all so excited to just see them because we didn't see them in so long. We don't know what this week's going to be, what's happening. We're just so excited to see them, and it's always the biggest hugs right when we see them, and they're just so happy to see us also. You could tell by their faces.
And Sally would do all different types of activities, like walk around, say hi with your eyes, very interesting things like that. And then what's your favorite color, and like interview questions, those sorts of things. And then it became, we would talk about what happened to them during the Holocaust after a few weeks.
I was scared for that day that they would open up. But the day they did, I felt relief that maybe they trusted me. We have that kind of connection that they would trust me with something that it took so long to get out of them.
We will start sharing. We'll take out our notebooks, we'll start writing down, we'll be writing down fast, writing down as much as we can hear, as much as we can write in that few seconds when so many drops of like precious knowledge are being shared. And at the end, Sally will ask the students to recite what we heard from the adults, and we'll act it out. We'll just make a picture. We won't necessarily act out every single scene, but we'll make a picture of what it would have been like. The picture might represent his emotions, his feelings at the time.
When we were acting out the story, if it was like a really, really tough emotional story, like putting our like physical bodies in that idea, like in the actual creation of the scene, like sometimes like everyone was about to cry.
So at the end of every session, they would say after their stories, thank you for listening, and then we would say thank you for sharing. So truthfully, every week at that part I got chills because it was like they're thanking us for listening. Like, what do? They went through the experiences, and we come every Wednesday for 2 hours, but it means nothing like compared to what they went through, to what they still have to live with.
I visited Clara with Sammy, Mimi, and Daniela. It was a fun experience. We got to see where she lives. I remember walking into her kitchen and she had all food out for us. And we were already like, oh my God, thank you, Clara. Like, wow, can't believe you did this for us. And then all of a sudden she pulls out like new mugs. And she's like, I got you guys new mugs because I know how important like kashrut is to you guys and how you have to have like clean plates. And I wasn't sure, so I bought new mugs for you guys to have tea in. So we were like very touched by that.
I invited Fred over, one of the survivors, to my house for a Shabbat dinner on my birthday. And it was the most amazing night ever. It was amazing. He brought me a little birthday present. He made me a painting. We had such good conversation. My family fell in love with him automatically. They can't stop talking about him.
I had the opportunity to go on freshman seminar with the survivors, and even though like some of the survivors weren't even the ones in the program this year, but just learning about the new stories from them in the elevator, during the sessions on seminar, you really create such a connection with them.
Well, I feel like the closer we get to the adults, the more we want to do a good job because we feel more of a connection towards them, and we want to make sure that they're happy with the way we portray whichever character we got in their story. Honestly, there's no real way to pinpoint what I gained. I feel like I just became a better person in general, but if I had to narrow it down, I feel like my listening got a lot better, my understanding for other people. It's just every week we practice listening to their stories and retaining the information and forming bonds with people. So I feel like also my sensitive side came out, the empathy that I had to have towards the survivors.
Not even that, them as my family, but even my family as my family. Now it's so different when I sit around my Shabbat table and we're all making jokes, and it's just a whole new appreciation for life and for food and for money and yeshiva and your whole life. It's different.